So here in this video, let's break down everything you need to know as an investor in AMC stock for this upcoming week and where I think AMC stock will be heading in this week. And it could be quite interesting and hopefully make you some money that you have recently lost back. I will also tell you what I plan to do with my positioning in AMC stock and what my next move is. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. So I really don't want to make this video super long because it is Labor Day. It is pretty freaking hot, as you guys can see right now in Michigan. Even it's 85 degrees and it's still pretty early. So yeah, keep that in mind. I don't want you guys to sit through a 25-minute long video here. So we're going to go through things pretty quickly. So you have a short score of 68. You have utilization of 75%. Cost to borrow of 9%. Days to cover of 2. Shares out on loan 13.91 million. Free float out on loan 8.82%. Estimated short interest of free float at 9.74%. None of these numbers are true. None of them. Not a single one here. Now, the official reported short interest, as I have said many times now, on August 15th was 29.24%. Well, what does this mean? Well, on August 15th, AMC's share price was around $30, the low 30s, $32, $33, around there for the vast majority of August 15th. Where is AMC stock today? $13 per share. What was the low that AMC just hit? Around $10 per share. You're telling me the short interest dropped from almost 30% to 9% and AMC's share price collapsed 60+%. No, that's not true. That's not accurate. Okay. So the real short interest is likely 40+%. I would imagine closer to about 50%. And I think this does a couple of things. Okay. When the short interest does come across as 40-50% with the next exchange reported short interest number, this puts the shorts on high alert, puts the shorts on notice. Because what happens is retail investors, you will know that, hey, AMC is massively short. Right now, we're getting an estimate of 9%. So we really just don't know until we get the next exchange reported short interest number. I know some of this data on Ortex has scared a lot of people, and that's the last thing that I hope you are fearing, because the data behind a short squeeze has likely just gotten a lot better. Now, in this upcoming week, one of the biggest catalysts you need to be watching for is the announcement of a capital raise by AMC stock. This is not a bearish catalyst. This is a bullish catalyst, because the stock has already fallen 80% since the reverse split. Since, well, you went from $50 pre-split adjusted pricing down to $10. You fell about 80% during that span of time. That means the dilution has more than been priced in. So once you actually get news of dilution, especially if it's a lot smaller than what markets have already priced in, AMC stock should react very favorably from that news. And that's exactly what I expect will happen. I don't know if it'll be this week, next week, a month or two from now, but at some point that will happen. Now, I would be prepared for that because that probably is going to be a very bullish day. Now, I personally think, as far as my next move in AMC, I think buying some longer dated options is really a good move here, especially considered we closed above a major level, and that was $13 per share. I really wanted to see on Friday if we closed above $13 per share, because that is the point where the bulls started to take control of AMC stock again. $13 per share was critically important because it was one of the largest kind of close to the money expirations. So there was a big kind of battleground at $13 per share on Friday, as you can even see from the price action of AMC on Friday. It was very volatile around $13 per share. About an hour left of the trading day, you hit a high of $13.16 per share. By the last couple of minutes of trading, you were under $13 per share. And then you did close above 13. Like, firmly. In regular trading, you closed at $13.10 per share. In after hours, you closed at $13.04 per share. And after hours, as you know, does matter. So $13 at the $13 call, you've seen about 11,000 for open interest. And at the $13 put, you've seen about 9,500 for open interest. Obviously, the $13 call expired out of the money. The $13 call expired in the money. So this is as many as 2 million shares that will need to be bought by the market makers on Tuesday. So that could have a very positive effect to AMC as we start the week. Again, as I said in the last video as well, the FTDs for September 4th, which is today, is 7.7 million. This is per the T+35 date. And then on tomorrow, on Tuesday, you're going to have about 7 million FTDs come due. This, all in all, is about 14.1 million FTDs. What does this mean? Well, the T+35 day becomes T+36 day if the markets are closed. So that means tomorrow is the day where all of these FTDs will need to be covered or closed out of. Now, obviously, it's a running aggregate. I'm not stupid. I understand that. So not 14 million shares necessarily need to be bought back, but as many as 14 million shares will need to be bought back. So do keep that in mind. I think that could have an effect on AMC stock, and that I think could be pretty bullish, at least for the start of trading coming tomorrow. Now, let's take a look at the economic calendar, see what kind of major data we have for this week, if anything could move the markets. And first things first, today actually, at 9:45 p.m., you're going to get the services PMI out of China and the composite PMI out of China. This data could be important because if it moves a lot, if it shows, things are good or things are bad, it's going to affect our markets, which that could in turn affect AMC. You're also at 12:30 p.m. today going to get the Bank of Australia interest rate decision. This could be important. This could hit the headlines and affect futures overnight tonight. Now on Tuesday, you're going to get the GDP growth rate for Australia as well. Not very important. Factory orders month over month comes in at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. You're expecting negative 2.5%. Last month's reading was positive 2.3%. So more weakness with the economic data. On Wednesday, ISM Services PMI will come out at 10 o'clock in the morning. You're expecting 52.5. Anything under 50 is contractionary. Anything over 50 is obviously expandatory, and this is on a price basis as well, not just the amount of services that are being done out there. So if you did get a number under 50, that would be great, because services is really your super core. That's what has been giving the Fed, so many problems, and that's why the Fed still has not cut rates. On Thursday, you're going to get some minuscule data here. Non-farm productivity quarter-over-quarter final for Q2, so some revisions here. Labor cost revisions. Initial jobless claims probably going to be the biggest catalyst for Thursday, and you're expecting 233,000. Last week's reading was 228,000. So initial jobless claims tends to be a leading indicator. When you're getting close to a recession or really in recession, you're around 300,000 weekly jobless claims. So watch for that number specifically. Now on Friday, you're going to get the unemployment rate for Canada as well as the inflation rate for Canada or for China, and that will come out at 9:30 p.m. on Friday. So overall, not a huge week as far as economic data is concerned. The following week will be much bigger and will be a little bit obviously more important. Now, with all of this considered, I don't expect any one data point to have a big reaction to AMC stock. I think, again, the biggest single catalyst that will cause AMC stock to move, it's not pre-ticket sales numbers for Taylor Swift. It's not, any other minuscule data point. It is, does AMC announce that they have raised capital yet? If AMC announces they have raised capital, then I think the stock could rally as high as the 30s. Because you've priced in so much dilution. If we don't get that huge dilution, well, that's going to be seen as very much a positive for AMC stock. Now, if we don't get any big news, we don't get, news of capital being raised, we don't get anything in the markets that really causes anything significant to happen. I do think this bounce is intact, and I do think the buying effect from the FTDs and the options on Friday will have an effect on Tuesday, and I think that could send us up to the mid-teens, if not low 20s. Now, if we just get a bullish market and a risk-on market that says, hey, the Fed's probably close to done tightening, the soft landing narrative is taking hold, that's obviously a big benefit for AMC. Especially now, if they can raise capital, they'll really be able to refinance some of their debts if interest rates do come down. And that would just have an overall positive fundamental effect on AMC stock. And I do think now that this reverse split has actually happened, once we get that first capital raise out the way, AMC will react more to good or bad news as well. Just fundamentally how any company would, I think that could be important. So if that kind of scenario happens where the markets are just bullish, then I think that mid-20 range could be respectable. Now, my personal opinion, I would put your range to watch in between $15 per share and about $22 per share. Now, why I'm saying this is $15 per share is a big psychological level. $13 as well was a big psychological level. If this trend continues, 14 should not be too much resistance. 15 is where you get more resistance. And I think if you break out above 15, then you open the door to about $22 per share. But I don't expect downside this week based, again, because you have fallen so much and you're at very depressed levels for AMC stock. I mean, it's possible the stock does fall. I just don't think it's that likely given where we are in the cycle with AMC stock. So I think things look better than not. I think the price of AMC has been unjustifiably beaten into the ground. I do think that opens the door for some longer dated options. And personally, what I would be looking at is like a March 2024. I mean, look at some of these calls, even like the $20 call being at $277 per contract. Not terrible, but you really want an expiration that has more options. See, 2025. Yeah, there's just not a lot of options on the option chain yet, and that's one reason I have not went into a big call position so far, because you're only going out to like the $28, $27 strike. So I think pretty soon you should start to get some deeper options here, and none of these chains are really deep at all. And once that happens, then you can get some really, really attractive options on AMC, guys. So that is going to go ahead and do it for this video. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. Remember, none of this is a recommendation. None of this is financial advice. If you need money, you know, that you're trying to invest with to pay bills or do other things, then obviously don't do that. Be very careful. You guys enjoy the rest of your day and your Labor Days. Let me know what you're doing down below in the comment section, and I will see you in the next one.